The Benjamin Dixon Show is only possible with listener support. Go to www.thebenjamindixonshow.com to register for our blog and join the Progressive Army.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the richest man in the world.
Elon Musk not receiving the kind of welcome that he thought he would receive at Dave Chappelle's show last night at the Chase Center in San Francisco, California. It got so bad that Dave Chappelle had to try and make light of the situation. Here he is with his comeback.
Cheers and booze, I see.
This goes on for a good 10 minutes.
Elon.
Hey, Dave. Today is Monday, December 12th, 2022. Thank you so much for joining me. That was the sound of Elon Musk being booed for nearly 10 minutes total last night. Of course, I just played a couple of seconds of it at Dave Chappelle's concert in San Francisco, his comedy concert in San Francisco. I've tried my best not to make this show an anti-Elon Musk show. Tried my best. But it's become painfully clear that Elon Musk really believes he's more than what he is. Somewhere along the line, he bought into his own hype. He really thinks that he is some type of savior of humanity, the white savior coming in on the white knight horse, the white nationalist horse. It would be one thing if it was simply he had bought Twitter and made Twitter, whatever, did whatever he wanted to because it's his property. But he's insisting on using Twitter to forward the most absolute asinine and disgusting conspiracy theories and racist tropes. Last night, he showed up to Dave Chappelle's concert in San Francisco, and it did not go well for him. Let's listen in just a little bit more before I give a full diagnosis of the sociopathy that is. I mean, honestly, if Elon Musk is the apex of Western chauvinism, then Western civilization was pretty much a joke all along.
Weren't expecting this, were you?
Weren't expecting this. No, he wasn't.
It sounds like some of them people you fired are in the audience.
One thing you can count on Dave Chappelle to do is to kick people while they're already down and make a joke out of it. All these people booing, you're still at a Dave Chappelle show, right? Let's not forget that this is the same Dave Chappelle. And this is why when Elon Musk got done last night getting booed, the first thing he did was go back to Twitter. And not only he got a 2-for-1 special attacking trans people because of their pronouns, and also getting his QAnon on, stating on Twitter that his pronouns are prosecute/Fauci, suggesting that Anthony Fauci, who, regardless of what you may think about him in this period, because right now, as the entire government has shifted towards ignoring COVID-19, Dr. Fauci is a part of that. But this is not why they are attacking him. They are attacking him, Elon Musk. He's attacking him because, well, there are powerful people on this planet. Elon Musk is one of them, who has a vested interest in ensuring that we do not go along with any type of guidelines that would protect us from COVID-19. In fact, they're at the stage where they're pretending like it didn't happen. So because Elon Musk last night was with Dave Chappelle, the very first thing he did was to come out mocking the trans community, saying that his pronouns were prosecute Fauci. And he gets to get a dig in against the transgender community because of who he was with. And now, mind you, everyone who was booing Elon Musk last night, thank you. But you're still at a show by Dave Chappelle. And there's no question about the type of lie. See, you guys, you're going to get tired of me saying I told you so, but we've spotted this years ago with Kanye West, Dave Chappelle, Joe Rogan, all of these guys that have the bro culture. We knew for sure that they were going down the track. Other people, but I definitely have been one calling it out. They have been going down this track towards fascism. And now that they've teamed up with the richest man in the world, well, they're going straight into the arms of Nazism. Kanye West leading the way. I've tried my best not to make this show about Elon Musk in this season, but when you consider the intersection of everything that Elon Musk believes that he is and represents, and then all of the enemies that he's empowering, like he's literally empowering Nazis and fascists. There's no question about it. He likes to play his coy. Like that one thing these conservatives and these right-wing extremists like to do, and it's literally part of the strategy towards fascism, right? One of the steps towards fascism is their ability to blame us for everything that they do. Projection. And they simultaneously need to make it seem as though we, the quote unquote woke people, and this is who else he attacked last night, Elon Musk last night, or today rather, on Twitter, deciding that we must stop the woke mind virus at all costs. One thing these people love to do, Elon Musk is chief amongst them, is to pretend as though they don't have a platform and simultaneously crush ours. They like to pretend as though they have no power and that they are the victims while they are victimizing us. They 100% they depend on being able to label us violent terrorists while they are the ones who are literally killing people. They are the ones, every mass shooting that you look at in this country, it is a white right-wing extremist. Period. Every mass shooting at a school, you might have you might have black folks who do a drive-by and a couple of people get popped, but for the most part, we're trying to shoot the people we're after. These white incel right-wing supremacists, they like to pretend like they're Christians now, and they're Christian nationalists for sure. They are the biggest threat to humanity. And Elon Musk is the chief of them, which is pretty sad when you think about it. It's pretty sad that, the ancient days had Alexander the Great, and you guys are stuck with this pasty man who can't handle getting booed. Now, Musk only had two black friends, Kanye West and Dave Chappelle. Here's his spare black friend, Dave Chappelle, trying to save him from being embarrassed.
Tough on the head, I sounds like. But you notice one thing, all those people are booing, and I'm just pointing out the obvious. You have terrible seats. I understand.
Go. Let them eat cake.
All coming from way up there, niggas, from last minute. Now I'm playing.
I mean, I do drop the N-word from time to time, but not in defense of a white man. And then Dave Chappelle started getting sensitive. I'll play a little bit of that later, but I want to play some of the response from, or rather I want to read to you some of the response from Elon Musk. This is what he put on Twitter this morning. He said, quote, technically, it was 90% cheers and 10% boos, except during the quiet periods. But still, that's a lot of boos, which is a first for me in real life, frequent on Twitter. It's almost as if I've offended San Francisco's unhinged leftists, but nah. Elon is a 51-year-old man-child who belongs on 4chan, not as a billionaire, but not if not for his father's wealth built off of apartheid South Africa, Elon Musk would not even be known because he strikes me as rather mediocre, if not sub-mediocre. But here he is. He gets in there and he thinks he's going to make a joke, right? Here's the thing, Elon Musk. We all saw the Chappelle show. We all remember the skits and the sketches, and if we didn't see it in real time, we all have seen it via Twitter or via YouTube or wherever we like to watch videos online. We've seen the Chappelle show, and just because we laugh at it and because you're on stage with Dave Chappelle doesn't mean you can pull off the joke. Here he is trying to pull off his best Rick James impersonation. No, for real. And if you saw the video of that, he reached way down and bent over as if to summon all of his energy to rise to the moment because he was standing in front of, I don't know, a good 10,000 people, right? I got to imagine that Elon Musk was nervous. He might be rich, but he's not a man who knows how to handle a crowd that size. So he reaches way down within him and he conjures up the very best Rick James impersonation he could. And at the same time that he says, "I'm rich, bitch," Dave Chappelle throws his hands up in the air, expecting the audience to rejoice with them. And instead of laughing from the crowd, all you heard was the sound effect of the honking. That is the apex of Western chauvinism, ladies and gentlemen, non-gender conforming individuals. Those of you whose pronouns may not be the same as mine. We are all, not just you, we, us, me, not just black folks, the LGBTQIA community, everybody who happens to push back against the patriarchy, everybody who happens to push back against police brutality against black life, all of us who demand that Black Lives Matter, all of us who are demanding for something better, equality. This is the very best that Western civilization has manufactured. The best that came out of the loins of white supremacy is this maladjusted, emotionally stunted man-child who has been told his whole life that he's a genius when in reality he was subpar. When in reality he could just buy geniuses because he was so rich. But your riches don't manufacture personality, you uncharismatic Borg. Trust me, Elon, nobody was laughing with you at that point. Everyone was laughing at you because you're a joke. You're a rich joke, which makes you a problem. You have power, which makes you a problem. You have paid for influence because I just can't imagine anyone in their right mind would follow someone like you, except for Benny Johnson, a flunky, a bottom feeder over there on the right who just has to pause and thank God for somebody like Elon Musk.
What did we do to deserve Elon Musk? I don't know. I'm not sure. I say my prayers. I go to church. I read my Bible. But I'm not sure why the dear Lord above blessed us with Elon Musk. We are not worthy, but here it is, ladies.
I'd be an atheist, too, if I prayed for a savior, and this is what God sent me. Oh man, I tell you, we're living through some very difficult times that are stranger than fiction. I wish we had Lex Luthor as a challenge, all right? But all we have is this guy who happens to be rich and has to spend $44 billion not only to stroke his ego, but to forward the conservative incelic agenda. These incels who are incapable of getting any type of sexual gratification except for that which they can afford. You know, if they can buy it, but they can't find anyone who actually likes them, who actually likes their personality. Like Elon Musk, for all the money that he has, he can't have no one wants to be around him. His ex-wife, his girlfriend left him for Chelsea Manning. So this is the apex of Western civilization. And I've always said it. White supremacy was never supreme, ever. They had to use weapons. They had to use weapons of mass destruction. They had to use wars throughout history. They have to be the most barbaric. They're not supreme. They're just barbaric. They're not enlightened. They're Neanderthals, barbarians at their own gate. And Elon Musk is chief amongst them. And they required platforms like Twitter being taken away from voices like yours, voices like mine, anybody on the left anybody who would stand for something better than this white male Christian patriarchal white supremacist system. But because we think of and can dream of something better than I want to be kind and say intentional obtuseness, but these people are just morons. I mean, look at everyone's talking about Herschel Walker, but you can't tell me that Joe Rogan isn't suffering from CTE himself. You cannot tell me that Joe Rogan and Elon Musk are operating with the same level of brain cells that the average human operates with, but because there's so many bros out there of every race, they go along with this. They celebrate this like Benny Johnson. They thank God for this. And this is the guy who is controlling the Overton window for the entire world because he's purchased Twitter. And because he's giving the appearance that the far right extremists like Barry Weiss, Glenn Greenwald, Matt Taibbi, he's pretending as if they are mainstream journalists, as if they are center, unbiased journalists. And they're putting out these Twitter files, trying to create a frenzy, trying to create a narrative that will stick enough for them to actually get results. And while they're getting results, conjuring up false prosecutions and investigations, we know that Elon Musk is trying his best to be king of the world. Elon Musk is trying to be the leader of this new order that has been brewing for some time. It goes beyond Twitter. This is why I don't want to make the show about Elon Musk, but Elon is chief amongst them. Vladimir Putin is in those ranks as well. He's another man, another white man who believes that he has the right to determine the destiny of the entire planet. I mean, he doesn't fall too far from the West, right? They have us fighting back and forth for generations, like the West versus East, that whole paradigm, when in reality, it's all the system of white supremacy, but I digress. They are vying for power to change this society from bad enough to even worse, because they knew they could not compete on a level playing field. Elon Musk knows he cannot compete in a true meritocracy. He understands that their ideas cannot compete in a marketplace of ideas, so they have to buy the marketplace. And while he has purchased the marketplace, he gets to, in front of the world, act like a complete Neanderthal and still get people patting him on the back, bringing him on stage at their performances as if somehow riches equate to intelligence or notoriety or even likability. Like, we're not even, forget about it. It was a comedy show. You don't have to have the smartest man in the world on your stage, but you should have someone likable. And unfortunately for you, Elon Musk, 44 billion or however much you're worth does not make you likable one bit.
Bringing Kari Lake, who is, let me be blunt.
This is the voice of Steve Bannon.
When you look at the analysis, you look at the data, you look at this lawsuit, is the governor-elect of Arizona. There's just no doubt she won this election, okay? And they've circled the wagons to protect Katie Hobbs. And this is going to be a battle royale. Because if you're in for a penny, you got to be in for a pound here on this fight, right? And the fight is in Arizona, and the fight is in Arizona today.
That was Steve Bannon on his show, The War Room, pushing QAnon conspiracy theories for perhaps the most dangerous amongst the women MAGA branch, the women's division of MAGA. Kari Lake supersedes Marjorie Taylor Greene because deep down, whatever Kari Lake is, she hates herself. She has that extra edge. It's one thing to be bigoted against another race. It's another thing to be bigoted about something that's in your bloodline, but I digress. Kari Lake also has the edge of actually just being better looking than Marjorie Taylor Greene. Did you see the video of Marjorie Taylor Greene calling the president something, cussing him out, just like straight out cussing him out? She was at the gym. Oh my God. Like, life has not been kind to Marjorie Taylor Greene, but that's not the point of this segment. Kari Lake is by far the most dangerous because she understands media and talking points, and she's very smooth with her communication skills. She's an effective communicator, and she's, to be honest with you, she's far more depraved. She is willing to leverage anyone and everyone she can to overturn the election results when she lost. Period. Don't get me wrong. Every other Republican, and I'll play a clip later on of Marjorie Taylor Greene talking about what she would have done if she and Steve Bannon were in charge of January 6th, saying that they would have been armed, right? So this is not to say that Kari Lake is so much worse than the rest of them. I just think that she's a better communicator. and a little easier on the eyes than Marjorie Neanderthal Greene.
Kari Lake, who is, let me be blunt.
Please do.
When you look at the analysis, you look at the data, you look at this lawsuit, is the governor-elect of Arizona.
No, she's not. She lost by 17,000 votes. Katie Hobbs got 50.3%. Kari Lake got 49.7%. Difference of about 17,000 votes. Not far enough of a margin, not wide enough of a spread for me, especially when you consider that Kari Lake is a fascist who was eagerly waiting for her opportunity to be able to punish the news media. Do you remember that clip?
I am going to not only be the governor of Arizona for 4 years, I'm going to do 2 terms. I'm going to be your worst freaking nightmare for 8 years. And we will reform the media as well. We're going to make you guys into journalists again. So get ready. It's going to be a fun 8 years. I can't wait to be working with you guys.
Well, it turns out you won't be working with them even for 4 years because you lost. No matter what Steve Bannon says. Now, here's the thing about Steve Bannon and about the Republican Party and conservatism in the year of our Lord 2022. They understand that they have the ability to create critical mass with a false narrative. Critical mass meaning the type of movement and populace and noise that you need to make in order to get something changed in your favor. Now, it doesn't matter if anything that they said is true. Steve Bannon understands that he can lie his way to success and he can lie his way to overthrowing democracy. So he knows full well that everything that comes out of his leprosy-filled face is a lie. But it doesn't matter because all he has to do is get his supporters, Donald Trump supporters, QAnon supporters, anti-vax supporters, Vladimir Putin supporters, they all run in the same cabal. All he has to do is get them angry enough and then make them hold to their commitment because what did he say? In for a penny, in for a pound.
And this is going to be a battle royale because if you're in for a penny, you got to be in for a pound here on this fight, right? And the fight is in Arizona, and the fight is in Arizona today.
Maricopa County, I feel sorry for you all, but you've done well. You've been able to hold the line, and these are Republicans. These are Republicans that I probably would disagree with on everything else, but the election board over at Maricopa County has done a thorough job. Katie Hobbs won and Kari Lake lost, no matter how many times Steve Bannon lies to you about it. Let's do this patron party.
Go to www.patreon.com/The BPD Show and get twice the content and unfiltered interviews without any of the commercial interruptions.
And here we go. Very special welcome to our 2 newest patrons without whom this show is not possible. Welcome to Jam Tuned. Thank you so much for becoming a patron again. We appreciate you. And Daniel Gann. Thank you so much for becoming a patron. You too can become a part of this prestigious and prodigious patron family by going to patreon.com. Wait a minute. That's patreon.com/The BPD Show, where you get twice the content, none of the commercial interruptions, and you get access to our patron party, which we had the other night, and I stayed up pretty late. I was there till about 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. I know they party longer than me, but come join the family. Patreon.com/The BPD Show, and we'll be back after this commercial break, unless you're a patron. Then you don't have to listen to any of these commercials.
Welcome back to the Benjamin Dixon Show.
Yeah.
Visit us online at thebenjamindixonshow.com.
Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. I want to get back to Elon Musk getting booed because one is cathartic. It feels great to hear someone as obnoxious and dangerous. This is not just about me not liking Elon Musk. He's not a likable person, but he's a very dangerous person because he has all the wealth in the world. He has the ability to command the Overton window. And that's what he's doing. And this is the guy, who's promoting anti-vax information, who is attacking the transgender community for having pronouns, because God forbid you take 5 seconds to respect someone's pronouns, right? This is the guy who thought that he would get on stage with Dave Chappelle last night in San Francisco and would be able to, just be one of the boys, right? No, wrong. You're not. You never will be. Nobody likes you, Elon Musk. Only people around you are the people that you can afford to pay for. Now, that said, I want to do some housekeeping real quick before I go into a little bit more substance around Elon Musk, because his goal really is he thinks he's supposed to be the king of the earth. Kanye West thought that too. But real quick, some housekeeping. On Friday, I inadvertently uploaded the patrons only version of the podcast to everyone publicly. And my bad to the patrons, because that second half hour was supposed to be yours and yours only. So if you enjoyed it, let's see if we could turn something, my mistake, into something good. If you enjoyed the second half of the podcast last week on Friday, go to patreon.com/the BPD show and become a patron, or you can shoot us a Cash App, because we're not funded by billionaires. Cash App BPD 2018. We're not funded by billionaires, right? See, Elon Musk could never do what I've done, which is like literally go from the bottom and have no money except for what you have left over after sending your kids to childcare, and you have just enough to pay the lights, and you took a little bit of money and put it into a microphone and actually cut through the algorithm. He couldn't possibly do that because he can't compete in a meritocracy. He cannot complete. Conservatism cannot compete in a democracy. Their ideas are not only antiquated, but now that we have collectively found each other, we realize they're more than us than them. And this is why they have to commit acts of violence to scare us back into silence. They liked it better. They want to make America great again, take us back to the 50s when they could kill us with impunity, right? They like being able to smack women around and get away with it. They like being able to sexually harass and touch and rape women and never be held accountable and just say, oh, just one of the boys. And they see this progress towards humanity recognizing our human rights. Who is who? Who is us? Everyone who's not a white Christian man. Rich in particular, but white Christian men have had the advantage in this country, and everyone who is not one of them have had to fight for our rights. And we've had to fight against them to get it. This is why I laugh at Christian nationalists when they think that they're so saved and how heaven is going to be especially for them. No, it's not. You're not going to heaven. Not when you are literally the people we had to fight against in order to get every single right that we have. And in fact, you are the people that we have to fight against now to protect the lives of our trans comrades, of our LGBTQIA comrades. We have to fight against you to stop police officers from killing black people. And you think you're going to heaven. Okay. I just wish that we could get some confirmation real soon of how many of your ancestors are burning in hell. But I digress. I even hate using the word ancestors with regard to them, because ancestors is something hallowed and respected and cherished. Like, who are their ancestors? Jeffrey Dahmer? Bull Connor? General Lee? I get in trouble for that last one. They really respect that guy. But these are their people that this is who they look up to. Historic sociopaths. And now who they look up to is Elon Musk.
Sure, I say my prayers, I go to church, I read my Bible, but I'm not sure why the dear Lord above blessed us with Elon Musk.
And if you really think about who he's surrounding himself with, Elon Musk, he's surrounding himself with people like Jack Probasiek, N. Miles Chong, Andy No, Michael Tracy. Like, I mean, not that this is this is not the measuring bar for me. How good you do with the opposite sex or the same sex, how good you do in your sex life is not the bar for me, but I just would be damned. I mean, like, really, if society collapses because of a bunch of incels and virgins, a bunch of Karens like Barry Weiss, a bunch of traitors like Glenn Greenwald and Tulsi Gabbard, like, if anybody was vying to be the rulers of the world, they really picked the rejects. And they're not just rejects because they're awkward. No, I think I might use that clip for the rest of the year. Not because they're awkward or because they're nerds. I'm a nerd. Or because they're like, dorks. I get dorky. I'm a geek. Not that at all. It's the fact that in their geekdom, everything that they consumed made them hate humanity more. Like, how do you watch Star Trek and become a fascist? I just don't understand it. How do you watch Doctor Who and become a Nazi? I just don't understand it. Patrons only. Stay tuned. Everyone else, go to patreon.com/the BPD show to get access to the next half. And if you can't do that, that's fine. Cool, no problem. We're still family. But we certainly could use your support. Patreon.com/the BPD show. And if not, we'll see you tomorrow.